6:30. I'm Brian Econo.
And I'm Chris Costa. Before we get to all of our lead stories this half hour, Ryan Breton is joining us with a look at the weather. Ryan, what a gorgeous day we are having.
Guys, where weather isn't like kind of in the headlines the next few days and in through the weekend.
It was yesterday.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those stretches where we're going to be trying to figure out things to talk about because it's, 4 straight days of great weather.
This looks good to enjoy.
Yeah, we'll still find something to talk about.
The timing.
Morning, you could clearly tell a front moved through today.
Yeah, and that was dramatic for this time in the summer. Very often we'll get fronts in July, but they're usually not strong like this, and ushered in a total change in the air mass today. There was a look out over Freeport, where not only is the humidity much lower than it was yesterday, the temperature is too. It's only 72 in Freeport right now. We do have some clouds that have bubbled up in the mountains and north. There are a few little showers just over the border. There could be a sprinkle up around Jackman or the Allagash today, but to the south, the dry air will suppress any of that cloud cover from making it to the coast. 72 in Portland, 74 in Wisconsin. And we have 60s up north, but here are the dew points, which really tell the whole story. Yesterday, they were above 70 at times and super humid, but now it's really, really nice and comfortable. High pressure to the west will be moving in, and it pretty much centers over us through the upcoming weekend. If you've got plans this afternoon, really nice stuff there. You see a sprinkle up around Jackman or Rangeley, but that would be about it. This evening, it will cool down quickly because the air is still dry. So there are the 10 o'clock temperatures, a lot of 50s out there, and it gets cooler than that overnight. Low temperature right about 50 inland, some upper 40s in the typically cooler valleys. The coastline makes it down into the middle 50s. Then for tomorrow, we're looking at lots of sunshine, a very pleasant day with a light wind. There may be a little sea breeze that kicks up in the afternoon at the coastline. So the high temperature there, mid to upper 70s, 75 in Rockland and Bar Harbor, 78 from Portland down to Kittery and Portsmouth. And then most inland towns get to about 80 degrees for high temperatures coming up tomorrow. And it will have a warmer feel tomorrow up in the mountains where they make it back close to 80. While today, guys, up in the mountains, it's got the fall feel. Are like, okay, this may be a little too soon.
Right, we know it'll get here eventually.
Right. But this is about as crisp as it gets this time of the year.
I think this is the time of year that Lee Goldberg would call Maine Diego.
There you go.
Right? That perfect, dry, crisp, not too hot, not too cool.
Yep,
or
just enjoy it.
It's probably been 5 years since I've heard that term tossed around since back when I did the mornings.
It's a throwback Thursday. We're bringing it back.
There you go.
Thanks,
All right, Ryan. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Nobody was injured during an early morning fire in Auburn.
Firefighters say that home is right on Court Street there. The fire spread to the attic of that home. Crews got to that fire pretty much under control in about 40 minutes, though. Investigators say no one was home. The cause of that right now. Earlier this week, we told you about a peer recovery center in Bangor. It is now closing. To close now at the end of the month.
It's due all to a lack of funds. News Center Maine's Sean Tessler shows us what's next for this organization and the people they help.
The people who rely on Together Place's day space to beat the heat and grab a meal will only have access to the place until the end of the month.
It'd be a big loss for all the people you see in the room.
And losing family. That's what we're losing.
This is a really great thing for the community, and we're losing it.
It wasn't a decision that was made lightly, and nobody wanted to make that call.
Executive Director Joe Hartel says the organization needs $220,000 to keep the day space operational for another year.
We're seeing so many people on the streets in Bangor who need the connections to care, right?
Without that service, without that additional service in place, there's going to be a lot more people who are outside on the streets and a lot more visible than they are if they're here or at Together Place.
Bangor Area Homeless Shelter Executive Director Boyd Cronholm expects higher demand for services at his shelter, which he says is already at maximum capacity.
I don't know how many people the Together Place are feeding, but that many people are going to now have to seek different services.
Together Place also provides people with peer recovery that has helped many people become sober.
And it's just a powerful thing. Recovery is a powerful, powerful tool, and Bangor needs it right now.
The organization still plans on keeping their overdose response team active and their employment connection program going while they search for more funds for the day space. In Bangor, Sean Tessler, News Center, Maine.
And if you would like to support Together Place, you can do so at the website on your screen right now, togetherplace.org/donate.
An update for you this noontime. The paid parking program we've been talking about in Camden is ending now. On Tuesday, the Select Board voted 3-2 to suspend that program. It was intended to collect revenue and improve parking turnover downtown for the summer months. But business owners who spoke at Tuesday's meeting said they were losing customers because of it. One business owner said the 30-minute minimum made it difficult for grab-and-go customers. Residents also say they had technical issues with the meters and a lack of signage. That program was supposed to run through October.
Voters in Norridgewock have authorized the town to accept a donation of the former New Balance factory. Voters approved that proposal during a special referendum earlier this week. Monday's vote does not close the deal, but instead it allows the Select Board to make the choice. Town leaders say the next step is an engineering study to assess the building's condition and determine the best path forward for redevelopment.